Hello and welcome back to another Transformers review. Today we're taking a look at the Siege Micromaster class, Laserbeak and Ravage. You know, something tells me this review is going to be on the shorter side of things, but that's fine. They're small figures and fairly simple. But anyway, let's start off with the articulation. Alright, let's start with the lesser of the two, in my opinion anyway. Ravage. Looking kind of funky. I mean, it turns into a rough approximation of a cassette, but still, they couldn't have even bothered with a tail? I mean, given how much mass they put into the legs, they probably could have worked something out, but anyway. The head is on a hinge. Not super far up, but for transformation, it can go all the way down. The front limbs lock at this point and this point. The legs can click once more up this way, and for transformation it can go way further back, but hey, we'll get to that in the transformation. And the hind legs are just kind of stuck. They flip up around this way for the transformation, so putting them down here in the correct position basically locks them into place. However, the lower limb can get a decent range. Also, due to the transformation, the front legs can angle out, which you can use for posing, though it does end up looking a little bit weird sometimes, mostly because the feet are so small you can't have them firmly planted. But yeah, I mean, it's not badly articulated, especially given the size. Really, the only problem is it doesn't have a tail. And moving on to Laserbeak. This is purely for the transformation, but the legs can spread rather. The head can go down, and this actually isn't for the transformation, it's just to be able to get a flight pose, because the wings can spread out fully, and you can have Laserbeak flying. Well, possibly. There's no actual peg hole to put him on a stand, so outside of swooshing it, I'm not really sure how much flying he's going to do, but still, nice that they included it, and the fact that he can actually perch, which is good, because you can actually fold down the, technically it's a peg, but it's flattened off, but it is the standard 5mm peg that they use for all of their weapons, so given that they now have those ports all over them, you can easily just sort of bend the legs out slightly. Actually, that looks a little bit weird. Maybe find one slightly elevated so you can plug this in and actually have them perch. Now, getting into the transformations, let's start with Ravage. First thing you want to do is fold the head away, mostly so that you don't forget later. Next thing you want to do is fold the lower hind legs in and flip them up over the back, and you can bring this in now, and you can fold them up. Next thing you want to, yeah, these feet do get in the way a bit, but next thing you want to do is bring these up, and then you want to fold the hind legs around, and this one kind of just requires you to smush it together to get it to line up properly, but basically you want the little tabs to peg into the legs here, and you want the tabs here to peg together properly. Just gonna squeeze it a bit, and everything should line up just about right. Even if these ones don't want to tap in correctly, it's not a big deal because it doesn't really make a difference. You can fold out this peg if you want to plug it onto something. It's like a shield, which is actually pretty useful because you can just sort of bend the legs to make it into like an actual kind of something or other. But anyway, that's Ravage in his cassette mode. Well, cassette mode. To be fair, neither of them really look like cassettes. They're more just bricks, but you know. Anyway, moving on to Laserbeak. Much easier, actually. Just click the wings in, fold the feet in, fold this back, and then fold the head down. Now, it does mean that there's some bigger gaps than Ravage's, but that's okay, because it looks fine from the top. And also, this peg is still accessible. And as for a quick size comparison, I mean, obviously these guys are going to be really small. Do I even need to turn it? I mean, they both fit in front of it. It's... yeah, these guys are small. Which is probably why they came in a 2-pack. Anyway, to wrap this review up, yeah, I can recommend picking up these guys. They're not too expensive, and this is a really good Laserbeak. Ravage is a little lacking, but I mean, with a Laserbeak this good, who really cares? Especially given that it can actually perch on arms or shoulders or whatever, as long as there's a port. As long as you can finagle it to actually plug in, but, you know. Anyway, that's been it for this review. Make sure to let me know what you think down in the comments. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe for future reviews and watch my backlog. I have a lot of reviews. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, until next time, happy building.